There's so many videos on YouTube about how to write a script, the format, the technicality, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to bore you with the details. It's easy, go watch those videos. In the end, we don't care. As long as it looks professional, that you have the basics, the rest doesn't matter. For me, the software that I'm using is Final Draft. I think is the most common one, is the most popular one. A script for me, it's a blueprint. It's nothing more than that because it always evolves, it changes, it goes to different places. As long as you keep the ideas, as long as you keep the vision that you have on paper, be prepared to change everything. Be prepared to scrap those papers because when it's time to shoot with your actors, with the collaboration of artists with you, everything is gonna change. So it all starts with a script and it all starts with putting your ego aside. Of course, you need to have a vision, but you need to be able to collaborate with amazing talent that's gonna push you, that's gonna drive you to be better, and you need to be open for that. One of the most daring thing it is, I think even for me, I've done 10 feature film, but every single time that I'm starting from scratch, it's the worst. I hate the white blank pages. It's scary, you don't know what to do. But first, it starts with the idea. Every day, you sit down like this, whatever you want to go, you sit down and you write 10 pages. Good, bad, ugly, whatever. Maybe if 10 is too much, do 5. But if you force yourself to do those 5 pages, I promise you, it's the best way to go forward because in the end, you need to go to that goal of 90 pages. I don't write more than 90 pages. All my script is around 85, 90, max 95, I think. But I would suggest don't go more because it's more time, more money. And mostly when you're shooting abroad in Europe or whatever, hotels, transportation, actors, all that stuff adds on. So you need to write in a way that you know you can shoot, in a way you have to write with your budget in mind. You force yourself to write and you feel so good when you're done writing it. Even if it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. At least you have your 10 pages. The next day, you go another 10, you go another 10. And in 10 days, you get your feature film. And that's it, that's the best way. After that, rewriting, that's the easy part. The worst is to fill that blank page. At least you know you're moving forward. And I think the blockage that a lot of people have is that either they're slow, they take years to write a script, and it doesn't take a long time. I promise you in 10 days or so, let's say you round it to around 15 days, you have a feature film, and then you have to rewrite it, but that's the easy part. You have to write in what you can afford. You have to write with what you have, with the connection that you have, the location that you have, the actors that you have access to. Because I could write a sci-fi movie. Do I have a budget to make a big sci-fi with special effect and everything? No. So I write always in a way that I know I can make it. I can go and shoot it. If you shoot on location, if you shoot in America with the union actors and you travel with them and everything, that's where it skyrockets your budget. Mostly, seriously, it's transportation, hotel, food, paying them. That's what costs. So for me now, I mostly shoot in location where I have access to actors. They go back at their place. They can bring their own food, or you don't have to pay transportation, food, lodging, all that stuff. That if you can just trim down that part, you save so much money. And be smart about it. And you can be really original and do a sci-fi if you want to, but do it in a way that I know I can make it for cheap. So every line that I'm writing in my script, it's always with that in mind. Because if I start going left and right, I'm gonna have a car chase, and I know I cannot do it. When you always are limited with your budget, be smart and really write, and it forces you to bring originality to your script. Don't write something that is too big, but at the same time, it's okay location-wise to think big. For example, I shot in Iceland and I shot in a volcano, but because my actor had connection to go down a volcano, so we went there. Otherwise, it would have been impossible. I just did a film called Runaway in Sweden, and I had the idea of oh my God, it would be so cool if I can shoot in the Nobel Prize location. That's where they give the Nobel Prize around the world. It's in Sweden. And I said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to ask them just to say, hey, I have a scene I want to shoot in 3 hours. I just want to have 2 people talking, but I want to show how amazing this place is. There's not going to be a crew. And that's really important when you're asking a location is, be honest, and just say, hey, it's just gonna be me, my sound person, 2 actors, that's it. We don't bring lights, we don't put anything on the floor with cable. Like, the goal is to be as small and invisible as possible. And when you do, people are like, okay, why not? So I ask the Nobel Prize people, and they say yes. So sometimes just asking can make a world of a difference, and it elevates your script, because sometimes you can have a scene where it's just 2 people talking, but when you have 2 people talking and you have those amazing location, it elevates your film, it gives it a budget value, it gives it like it looks like $1 million film. So don't be afraid to ask, don't be afraid to think big, but it's okay to have plan A, B, C, D, and then you adjust. One thing that I do is when I write my actors or my characters, I think with actors that I have in mind. That's why I say put your ego aside, because when you find good actors and when you do audition and stuff like that, you can find an amazing actor that really love the script, and when you saw them, it's completely different than what you had in mind. But then that person is going to inspire you so much to change the script and to make it way better. So for example, I did my film Acton Vale in Alaska, and one of the, it was 2 brothers. One of the brother was completely different than what I had in mind. He changed my script, he changed everything, because at first he was so good, his look was so interesting, and it makes the connection with the other brother even better. And it was not really like that in the script, so I've changed completely the script. Even on set, we changed every night, we were rewriting the script, because what I was seeing with him, and even with the other brother was just amazing, and it just changed, elevate the film that was not on paper. Be inspired by them is such a crucial part, and it's okay to completely change things when you see someone that is worth it. Don't do that with everyone. You know, sometimes it's okay to just, you get those actors, shoot what's on the page, we get out, have fun, it was nice, thank you. But sometimes you have those connection with those people that is just amazing, that is just magic. And when it does happen, be open and really jump into it. So when I'm writing a character, because I wrote it for her or him, and when you know those people personally, it makes your character so rich, because I always say that acting is 90% them, the person, and 10% character. Because it's your voice, it's your face, it's your movement, it's, you know, it's who you are as a person, it's your energy, it's what you know, it's what you scream on screen. Be open to just completely go left and right and be inspired by the person you're casting, because it's only gonna elevate everything. I found actors that are exactly that person. Sometimes I find person that in real life, they are those characters. So when it's time to play, they don't play, they just be themselves. So that's why my style, I call it almost like a docudrama, almost like a documentary, because those characters are so true to them. They are them. Of course, they're saying different words, but the way they are on screen, if you saw them in real life, it's almost the same person kind of thing. So for me, I love that. It's a process that I love. I don't like when someone has to change completely. But yeah, keep that in mind. People love to rewrite and rewrite. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it is important to rewrite, but at one point you have to let go. You have to say, screw it, it's gonna be when I'm gonna be shooting the film. Is that when you write a film, you write it, it's one version. Shoot it, it's another version. Editing is another version. You rewrote the film, you did it a couple of times, then you feel good about it, stop. Because you're just gonna, that's where you're gonna spend 2 years, 3 years, and it's gonna be forever. So you have to move on at one point. But then I would suggest that it's okay and important that when you write something and you feel it's in really good shape, send it to people that you trust, people that you love, people that you value their opinion. You don't want cheerleaders like, oh my God, what you're doing is great. You want really people who's gonna say, yeah, that's kind of shitty what you just wrote. It's okay, you want that, you know, you wanna be challenged. And you take all those opinion, and I believe in positive criticism. There's no reason to bash. The goal is just like, yeah, that's not really strong, but here's how I can make it better. So when you have those opinions, make sure that they bring something valuable to the table. Otherwise, it's just stupid opinion is just like, yeah, that's shitty. Who cares about that? Your actors that you have in mind or you want to work with or they cast, say, hey, this is the new version. What do you think? How can we make your character better? Do you have any ideas? Sometimes they're going to give you ideas who's going to be not that great. That's fine. But sometimes they can say one little thing that's going to be like, all right, oh my God, that's so cool. But that changed this. And it's okay. It's part of it. Change it, you know? That's where it's okay to rewrite. And then when you go on set and you shoot, you're gonna have new ideas. Everyone's gonna collaborate. You're not a dictator, you know? You don't know all the answers. So be open to just let others bring some ideas. And sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. So don't waste time rewriting for 20 years. Rewrite to the point you feel it's good enough. Here's a bunch of feedbacks, and then after that, go shoot the thing. So I would say this is mainly how I write script. 10 pages a day, you write the ideas, you write what you know, and then you find people who's gonna bring new ideas to the table, and then you just shoot. But once it's time to be on set, you follow those paper, and after that, you just throw it up in the air if something better happens. Don't be stuck to the page. Don't be stuck to the idea, oh my God, but that's what I wrote. Who cares? If something better happens on set, be alive. That's the whole point of shooting a film. You don't want to have everything prepared. You need to be in the moment. You need to let things evolve and be organic. So that's what I'm saying. Put your ego on the side and be open to everything that happens to you. The location is going to change your film. The actors is going to change your film. The weather is going to change your film. The lights is going to change your film. Everything is going to affect everything. You need to be able to just say, screw it, and it's happening.